dead cat bounce question mark. Since you brought it up, I guess we have to talk about dead cat bounce question mark.
Uh-huh. Man, I don't think so. God, it's funny because like the people I talk to, they're on both spectrums, right? There's like the perma bulls and everything who find it really hard to be bearish in general, and I fall
Mm-hmm.
into that bucket. Like this is why I can't trade, is because I'm just bullish all the time.
Mm.
And then you have like the people who are bearish, but they're only bearish because they want a better entry, from what I've noticed. Like they
Mm.
want to just buy lower, and and obviously people who are bullish just want to sell higher. So this is what's always funny about markets. You can never really get an unbiased view from people because everyone's got their own agenda. Everyone's got their own reason for wanting the market
Right.
to go up and down. So you can never get like someone saying, "Oh, well, I actually think it's going to do this based on this, this, and this because this makes the most sense." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, this makes the most sense to me for my bags, for
Because of what
my
you're looking for,
strategy.
something you're
Mm-hmm.
looking for. This actually is what really the through line is.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think everyone kind of got caught off guard by this. That it was unexpected by maybe not everyone. There were some
Mm-hmm.
people who were calling for like a 3K ETH, but that was based on like technicals and things like that. But then once we fell through that, we just fell even further. And it's been spoken about a lot lately, but I really do think it's the leverage in the system. There's just so much of it, and people just like you have such easy access to it that
Mm-hmm.
you have these death spirals because there's never enough spot liquidity to match this
Right.
when there's liquidations and stuff like that. So, but yeah, man, I like just generally, I mean, it's impossible for me to be bearish on anything right now, even though the prices keep going down. It doesn't matter. Like, well, when you think about it, like it was like I was really bullish I mean, we were both really bullish during 2019, like the depths of a bear market, and lots of stuff was happening, but the price wasn't moving. And when it comes to markets, they can kind of have a mind of their own sometimes, where both positive and negative news won't do anything to the markets. It'll just be like
Right.
the market's doing the
Just
market
yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I guess that's where I'm sitting right now. But I'm sure you're in like a similar boat here.
Yeah, there. I mean, we could talk about how there was generally a just like kind of shitty 2 weeks in the narrative world, mainly on the Bitcoin side, right? Like Elon Musk
Mm-hmm.
just being erratic was bad. Like Dogecoins, like doggy tokens making the front page news, that was bad. Like there's shit that happened. Like the actual real news, which is the China actually banning Bitcoin, actually doing it. That was bad, right? So we had like a series of like one, two, three, four punches in a row, right after just rocketing up, and so we had like no price consolidation. We didn't establish the highs, and then we got smacked by like really bad news, and then Bitcoin dumped and pulled the rest of the market down with it, and like I think in the grand scheme of things, you're totally right. There's like when Ether goes from like $4,300 down to $1,700 in like 7 days, and then it rebounds $1,000 off of the floor, and then take for example, we can talk about this hypothetical scenario that it keeps on going over the long term. That's just a smooth line. Like it went up really fast and went down really fast, but then it was a smooth through and through. And what you're saying about like there's just not enough liquidity in the market. It's just an anomaly of the fact that like the spikes are so high because of how little liquidity there is, and so you round out the spikes because it's noise. It's like an outlier, right? And just the fact that we dipped down to $1,700 for a brief couple hours in time was literally what you were saying. You just got to clear out the fucking leverage bros. And so liquidity just like disappears. And so the price can do anything. The price can go to $50 and then it'll just go back to $2,500 a second later. And that's just an anomaly. That's not actually something that you should really, it's more of an anomaly than it is real. The reason why it's real is because a lot of people did get liquidated, and like a 60% drawdown off the top will spook anyone, no matter what. Like watch your 60% of your net worth get deleted. It doesn't matter that you just only made it in the last like 45 days. Like you still got deleted, and still that's my analysis.
Yeah, I think so, and that's why I think like even though obviously long term bullish, I still think it's going to take a little bit to kind of like keep going up from here.
Right.
I think we're
Pump
going
the
to have to
brakes.
consolidate.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, exactly.
We
We're
were
gonna
going
be
up
here
too
for
fast, anyways.
yeah. I mean, see, this is the thing.
Anthony
This
was
is
like,
the
"That's
thing.
an appropriate level of speed, actually."
I actually think that ETH wasn't going up fast enough, if I'm being honest. If we were, traditionally when you see a drawdown like this on large market cap assets like Bitcoin or ETH, if we're looking at past cycles, you would expect to see maybe a 40% drawdown at most. We've seen that already, right? We saw that from I think 2100 to 1300 was about a 40% drop or something like that. Whereas, you know, getting a 60% drop on ETH is incredibly scary, especially when ETH has such a high market cap these days and has such a wide and varied holder base. And I know we kind of like bounced off that really quickly, but the thing is, like, think about it: 4,400 to 1,700 in a week is crazy. Like, we fell
crazy.
way faster
It's
than
crazy.
we went up.
Yeah, but only
So
like 2 or 3 times as fast. Like we went up pretty fast, bro.
yeah, but I
It
don't
was
know,
like
like
two and a
maybe
half times as fast. It was like
yeah,
3 weeks versus 1 week.
but you know, but the thing is, I actually think that ETH. So it's hard to say like what's fairly valued, but I actually think that ETH didn't go up fast enough. But I think that what ended up happening was that there was a lot of other crap happening, right? There was, as you mentioned, the dog tokens. There was just a lot of froth in the market generally. Bitcoin was actually weak for quite a while. You can see on the chart that Bitcoin was weak for like 3 months, man. It was like ranging and it was actually going down. It wasn't exactly
It
going
was
back up. And
ranging down, not ranging up. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then, you know, you mentioned all the bad news that came out, like the ESG narrative, the Elon Musk stuff, all that sort of stuff. That just, you know, I think that just like basically or like tipped over an already wonky kind of horse, so to speak, right? It was already ready to kind of like, you know, dump. And also Bitcoin dominance had gotten slaughtered. We went over this 2 weeks ago, how Bitcoin dominance had gotten absolutely slaughtered, which means that there was people kept saying, "Oh, when's alt season?" I'm like, guys, it was alt season. Like, yes, you're waiting for DeFi season, which is different to alt season. Alt season is literally all the scams and like absolute crap pumping, and we had that. We had that in a very big way. It's just that people think that alt season means that their bags are going to pump. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that just really shitty bags are going to pump, but maybe your bags aren't part of that shitty bag. So, yeah, but yeah, I think that definitely you're right that this is going to spook a lot of people. It's definitely going to spook a lot of the institution, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them, the institutional investors who are like, wow, you know, this is really volatile, but maybe they won't allocate as much money now. They'll allocate some. They'll be like, okay, well, this asset class is still extremely risky and extremely volatile. Let's allocate less than we were going to because of it for now.
Right.
But yeah, man, and I actually think the narratives aren't going away for Bitcoin. We've spoken about this before, and just like the energy use narrative is just such a bad one, I think,
really
in general
sucks,
for Bitcoin. And it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, it's a narrative that's very powerful, and people just gonna look at that and be like, wow, Bitcoin uses this much energy, like this is horrible. Whereas with Ethereum, soon we'll be able to just say, well, Ethereum doesn't use mining, and that's it. Like, we don't have to say anything else. It's like, it doesn't use mining.
Right. It uses literally nothing. That's the whole point. Well, it actually uses ether, which is not nothing. But from Nick Carter was making this point about how he was talking. Ironically, he was talking about like the Chia network, which uses like proof of hard disks, and so you just have like hard disks farming where you just have all these hard disks, and they're just writing random data to these hard disks and then deleting them over and over and over again. And so like, and then the hard disks burn out.